Hello, hyperspace. My name is Davontos, and it's time to get hyped because this is another Overwatch hero guide. Today, we are covering HANZO, my favorite sniper. One of, I guess you could say, two snipers in Overwatch. Now, HANZO is all about precision. Using HANZO, you have to be accurate, and I've seen some really good HANZOs. And let me tell you, HANZO is actually scarier than Widowmaker if you know how to use him right. He is one of the most difficult characters to use, and if you use him right and you get good with him, he can take out almost anybody. Now, there's a couple of secrets about HANZO, tips and tricks, different sniping spots, and we're gonna jump right into this and give a good HANZO guide. So let's do this! So, HANZO has 4 different kinds of arrows. He has a regular standard arrow, which you shoot, travels in an arc, hits the enemy, and gives them a truckload of damage. And if they're probably a squishy hero, or maybe even an average hero, a headshot will be a one-shot kill. He has a, I guess you can say, a pulse arrow, which basically, he puts some kind of blue suction cup on his arrow, it sticks to a wall, and it pings, and it scans enemies in that general location. Even if they're through the wall, you would see them. And you can really use that to give away enemy positions, to really help out your team, and to see what the enemies are using. So let's cover these this pulse arrow first, and I'm going to hop onto the other arrows. So with the pulse arrow, what you want to do with this is, if you're playing defense and you're setting up defenses while the enemies are waiting up in the building to attack, when it's like a 5-second countdown, you want to shoot the enemy attack building. That way you get the pulse. You get to see what heroes they're using, which will give you a huge advantage on where to set your position, where to set the defenses, and on top of that, your teammates will be able to see whoever gets scanned by the pulse as well. So now it doesn't only help you, it helps out your team. So you want to try to abuse the pulse arrow as much as possible, because even if it doesn't benefit for you, it will benefit for your team if somebody gets to see an enemy. So next arrow, he has a Scattershot. Now I don't know what these names are for the arrows. I'm just saying what it does. This Scattershot is basically, he puts some kind of different head on his arrow. He shoots it, it hits a surface, and it pops into like 15, 20 multiple mini arrows, and they spread all over the place. This is HANZO's most devastating weapon, because with this arrow he can actually use it to clear rooms and take out tanks. So with this arrow, you don't want to hit the enemy with this arrow. With this let's call these the arrow that pops, right? Popping arrows. With these popping arrows, you don't want to hit the enemy. You want to hit the enemy's feet, because this is what he can use to take out tanks. Let's say, for example, you're being chased by a Roadhog. Nobody likes being chased by Roadhogs. So you're getting chased by a Roadhog, aim at his feet, shoot the arrow will pop at his feet, and all 15-20 arrows will go straight to impaling Roadhog, making it a one-shot kill. He is the only hero who can one-shot tanks with a standard attack. And if you see enemies are around the corner and they take cover, don't be afraid to pull back your popping arrow, shoot that corner, and have the arrow spread all across that room. Most of the time you're gonna get a hit marker, but a couple times you even steal a good kill. His next arrow is his dragon arrow, or his finisher. Now, his finisher is very powerful, however, everybody would know when it's coming, because he either shouts something, he either shits. He doesn't shit anything, he shouts. So he shouts in English or Japanese, depending on what costume you're using. But it's a huge alarm letting the enemies know that these dragons or wolves is coming. These dragons can travel through walls. If they come in contact with any enemy, they will drain out their health insanely fast. So what you want to do is you want to catch the enemies by surprise. You want to get behind the enemy, launch your dragon, that way the enemies will be expecting it to come from the front, or wherever they expect you to be, you want to not be there. That's what you want to do with his dragon arrow. Get them off surprise and try to get as many feeds as possible. His arrow really combos with other character ultimates who freeze the enemy. Let's say like May's Blizzard ability or Zarya's Gravity Ball. If the enemies are in one spot, that's a huge opportunity for you to use your dragon arrow. Now, all this into play, and I still haven't told you how to play HANZO. So let's get straight into how to use HANZO. He's a sniper. So when you're using HANZO, you don't want to be in the battlefield. This is really early gameplay of me using HANZO, so you see I'm actually kind of bad. But now that I'm actually like a level 120 something, you can't really use HANZO as I'm using him in this gameplay. you want to stay in the back. But you don't want to stay like in the very back of the map and snipe people off because he doesn't have a scope, he doesn't have that zoom in advantage. You want to stay kind of hidden. Like, you want to play as a stealthy sniper kind of person. Because this isn't a sniper rifle, but it's a very stealthy weapon, and it's not stealthy in a way where you can go into battlefield and quietly take everybody out. That's Genji's job. With Hanzo, you want to stay out of enemy sights, and you want to have a height advantage and take them out quietly. You want to kind of stay in the war, but not literally in the war. You want to keep some space between you guys, because if you get caught by somebody who can make quick work of you, like Winston, if Winston catches Hanzo, Hanzo's pretty much dead, because you have one shot to launch that pop and arrow, and if you miss with Winston, there is nothing you can do. So you don't want to get the attention of enemies. You want to stay far back, but still close enough where you can land these shots, and you want to stay still kind of far enough that you don't draw attention to yourself. It's really weird, but you'll get the idea when you start playing as Hanzo, you know, how close you should be to the battle. And that's basically about it. When you get better with Hanzo, you're going to see that you're downing enemies really quickly. And I have seen some really good Hanzos, as I said in the beginning, and these good Hanzos would actually march in the battlefield and stay like in the front lines or in the middle of the battle, and they would take out enemies with Hanzos with one shot. You see they are just nailing headshots. It's still very risky, so I highly advise you guys not to try that until you're good with Hanzo. But even still, Hanzo takes a lot of practice. So, one more secret about Hanzo. You want to try to not call your healer. And by this I mean, let's say you got a Mercy on your team and you need healing, don't call her over, because she's eventually going to wind up giving you her position. Enemies are going to find out where you're hiding, and you're going to wind up getting confiscated a lot. You got to know where the health packs are, and you got to heal yourself. Last thing you want, you're playing as a sniper, is a lot of attention. And these healers, especially Mercy, she gives away her position really easily. With that big yellow or blue stream hitting your body, people are going to find you quick. That's basically about it. So if you like this video, punch that like button with a mighty force. You can follow me up on Twitter at Davontos, man. Let me know how you use Hanzo, because all these character guides is actually telling you guys how I use Hanzo. I know there are different kinds of techniques and different ways you can use these heroes, but throughout these character guides is just, you know, how I would preferably use them. So let me know in the comment section how you use Hanzo, and if my techniques are as effective for you, or even if they're not, let me know. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a nice day.